I don't know who you could really say did a good job as far as anyone involved with the making of Catwoman besides whoever remembered to take the lens cap off the camera to record and film any of this shit that we will see and or talk about. Hopefully you don't have to see it. I watched it for you, so I'm helping you dodge a bullet and having to ever pique your curiosity enough because curiosity killed the cat and curiosity of making a Catwoman film starring Halle Berry, as beautiful as she's been back when and still is now. The curiosity of seeing her in a Catwoman suit should have died right there in plain thought. Because now it feels like, having watched it again after so long, this time from start to finish in full, I would best be suited for a lobotomy. And of course, that is probably why I feel like I absolutely need to take a shit, a massive one, as soon as I'm done with this shit right here. Oddly enough, no pun intended. But then again, it's Catwoman 2004, and I hate to even say or tag along the name Halle Berry like that, but she is the star of the movie. And it seems like from everything I read note wise, she did seem to have fun on set, which is, listen, you're making a fucking movie, of course, and you're the star of the movie. Everybody's catering to you. You got your trailer, you got your fucking staff and people waiting on your head and feet or paw, I guess, because right, cats don't. Well, the cats do have legs, Duh. But I mean to say, you know what I mean to fucking say, paw and paw. And Halle Berry in a cat woman outfit with like barely their leather to begin with, from head to toe, titty to ass and everything. Putting aside the stupid mask that she's got on, it's okay. It's not terrible, it's not horrible, but it's ridiculous. But at least it's made up for with everything from the neck down. The titties are out, mashed up, pushed up together. The letters tight on the ass, really hugging the frame and figure of a 2004 Halle Berry, which again shouts to her, always being fine forever. Now, what's not so fine, allegedly, I have no proof of this and I have no say of this. I've never interacted with her, and believe me, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But supposedly, she is not the most elegant or ladylike of women. Hence, she has been deemed to be catty. But that might have been early on when she was younger, I think, maybe, hopefully, if she was. As she got older, she learned to calm down a bit or be more of the people instead of acting like she's above or beyond the people. I don't know. That's also speculation. Who the fuck knows about that part? But what we are here to talk about is Catwoman from 2004, again starring Halle Berry, Benjamin Bratt, Sharon Stone, and some other people that I guess would probably never want to be associated with this film again because there is proof of even Halle Berry saying just that right after this came out and when it was award season after the fact for this movie. Even she said it herself. She shitted on this fucking thing. She started it. And I'll give you the quote and we'll go in depth afterwards too. But let's get into it first now with Catwoman. Episode 81 of Who This Been Watching. 20 years later, after whatever. As far as you can remember since the release of Catwoman in 2004. Again with, unfortunately, Halle Berry. Not that she's bad, but this movie was so bad that even her amazingly good looks 20 years ago, take Halle Berry right now, take 20 years off her, who can resist? Man, woman, child. No, not to say she's a pedophile, nothing like that, but you know what I mean. No one could resist Halle Berry back when. Before that, or even now, still. And probably 10 years later from now, in 2034, we'll still be drooling at the mouth at the thought of Halle Berry putting on a cat suit or barely anything. What did she show with titties again? Oh, yeah, right. Was it Swordfish? Yeah, I think the year before, we got to see plain view, insight, her titties, honk honk, all that for our delight and enjoyment. So then what happens a year later in 2004? Catwoman comes out. And it's the kind of Catwoman movie we could have done without back when, now, still forever, 50, 60, 100 years from now, when they maybe review Catwoman out of pure curiosity, maybe they'll be able to reference this episode and know within the first 5 minutes alone, 10 minutes alone, whatever it is, I'm already shitting on this thing, just like I gotta take a shit later at the mere thought of having to do Catwoman. I don't have to do anything. Absolutely not. But if you haven't been curious, like I have, because I watched a bit of Catwoman back when it was on HBO. out of theaters, obviously. I caught some part of it. I can't remember which one because, again, 20 years ago, I can barely remember what I fucking shit out the other day, basically. So, let alone what scene of Catwoman I remember as being enough to be like, I'm not watching the rest of this. Even if it's Halle Berry and looking fine as fuck and everything, too. This is the first time I watched this thing in full for the sake of this review from start to finish. And I immediately regret it. I feel like a lobotomy would be apropos, would help. But even that wouldn't do enough to salvage the fact that I had to sit through this thing for the sake of review, this episode, and just to tell you that you can skip this one absolutely, but also let me be fair enough to give you reason enough as to why you want to skip this one at all cost. Again, curiosity killed the cat. That's the old phrase, that's the old saying. The curiosity that piqued in us, or, up top or down there, you know what I'm talking about, all my real men out there. At the thought of Halle Berry with barely any clothes on for like just under 2 hours, prancing around and acting like a cat, sign me up. But the thought alone, the curiosity alone should have been enough to kill the premise of this movie existing whatsoever. But unfortunately, we do have proof that it existed in a time, in an era where I think we knew better, and it was too soon to make hero comic book movies at all. 2004. So now, Catwoman, right? 2004, Halle Berry, as I mentioned, Benjamin Bratt, and Sharon Stone, the standout names. If you know any of the names of the other cast folk involved, good for you. I don't. And they probably don't want to be associated with this thing ever again. Because, like I said, later on we'll discuss about how even the star of the film, Halle Berry herself, who said she enjoyed being on set and filming the thing, and again, who wouldn't if you're fucking making a movie? How do you not enjoy it as your fucking 9 to 5? Even she shitted on this thing afterwards. Now, was it tongue in cheek? Was it just making light of situations? Who knows? Well, we'll get into that later, like I said. All right, so what's the premise of Catwoman? What do you need to know before diving in head first, paws first, into Catwoman? Well, it's about Catwoman. But even the title is wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because from my understanding, and I'll be honest, it's been a while since I watched any of the OG Batman movies, referring to, what's his name? Michael Keaton doing his thing, right? I do remember, like, oh God, who was Batman after him? I forget. It was Michael Keaton, it was Val Kilmer, George Clooney. I think that's the order. And there might have been somebody else. I think. I can't remember that far back, to be honest. Because all those Batman movies from the 90s were kind of like a blur to me. I just remember Mr. Freeze a lot, the Riddler, Jim Carrey. Shout out to Arnold, and Jim Carrey for doing their thing as both characters. But yeah, I think it was Batman Returns, right? That's the one with Penguin and Catwoman, and or Michelle Pfeiffer, who was always fine as fuck and still is too, by the way, if you need to ask. I'm just confirming for you, she's still fine as fuck right now, to this day, even still. Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman. This, Catwoman, 2004, was supposedly the sequel slash spin-off to Batman Returns, which was only going to be about Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman from way back when. Fun fact, apparently, from research I've done, this was stuck in development hell, as they call it, since like 1990, whatever, when Batman Returns came out. Hence why they waited until 2004, and I guess they got Halle Berry to sign on to take on the character itself. Because, of all things, Michelle Pfeiffer said she hated the outfit while she was doing the Catwoman thing in Batman Returns. So much so that apparently it didn't matter how much money or how much they sweetened the deal for her to come back as Catwoman for her own movie to star in. She said, no, fuck that, I'm not coming back. Again, it seems like it wasn't until 2000 whatever the fuck when they started filming Catwoman with Halle Berry. Halle Berry signed on, they got a hold of this person, that person. They got the cast together and said, okay, fuck it. We got at least a pretty recognizable name in Halle Berry, as well as Sharon Stone, and an up-and-comer, I guess you could say still at that time, Benjamin Bratt. Apparently, though, even I forget the names I read, but there was a lot of people that were initially involved in the cast, potential cast members, that got an early glimpse of it, dropped out immediately, or people that flat out refuse after taking a look or gander at the script and or screenplay, which I don't blame them because the end result, I'd be surprised if there was actually like a long enough screenplay, script, whatever, that made any sort of sense besides becoming toilet paper afterwards, because this was absolutely stupid from start to finish. Is it the worst thing ever, the worst movie you'll ever see in your life? Probably not. I'm sure there's stuff that's been worse that came out before 2004 and post goddamn 2004's Catwoman. I can't name any off top, but I think this might take the cake as like the worst movie I've ever seen to this date now. Like, definitely, probably one of the worst superhero comic book movies in that realm too. Also, it's from like the very early era phases of the comic book movie, saga where they just couldn't get it right. The special effects weren't there. They were like really playing around too much with like the origins and or the backstory of the characters as they did here, because my understanding was Catwoman was just a cat burglar who dressed up as a woman slash furry and identified as a cat when it came time to rob. And so when they caught her, or she'd get caught by police if ever, she'd be like, I didn't do it. It was Catwoman. I'm identifying as a cat, but if you take the mask off, I'm a human. I'm perfectly sane. I didn't do shit. It was all Catwoman. Right? But again, because this was supposed to be the Michelle Pfeiffer solo Catwoman film, they kept that same premise of what they do here, which seems absolutely stupid. And even if it wasn't Catwoman, I really think the premise does not work still. It just makes no sense. Or it could have been presented as not Catwoman. It should have been titled like Woman Cat or Mrs. Cat or something like that. Miss Kitty. I don't fucking know. But the point is here, a lot of this shit really doesn't make sense. A lot of this shit doesn't click. Now, if they want to alter the origin stories of Catwoman, she's not just a petty little cat burglar, pun intended, that dressed up as a cat, really limber and really agile, gymnastic gold medal winning ass level type of, flexible and shit. But no, instead, she dies and she's brought back to life by a magical, I guess, hundreds of years old cat that breathes into her, fresh after licking its ass, down her throat, and resurrects her into the Catwoman, or the woman cat, Betty has said. Because again, they shouldn't have called this Catwoman, or even loosely tied it to DC or anything of the sorts. This is better suited as woman cat, not Catwoman. It doesn't make sense. But, leading into that, of course, let me not be rude and jump all over the place like that without giving you the premise of how the fuck they even got to, god level cats breeding into humans. They come back to life and now they're cat women, or the woman cat, or whatever the fuck it is too, right? So she starts off first, Halle Berry. Now, picture this if you can. Halle Berry in 2004 pretends to play Patience Phillips slash Catwoman later on, as you'll see. Patience Phillips, or Halle Berry, physically, of course, in physical form, is probably the most beautiful, the most stunning graphic designer to ever exist on this planet. Like, such a beautiful individual. Graphic designer, delivery boy, pizza maker, whatever the fuck. So beautiful that they're scouting her, him, it out wherever they go and putting them in the movies. Too beautiful to be a fucking graphic designer. So that's where they start off wrong. Giving her a job that makes no sense for something as physically stunning and beautiful as Halle Berry was. Especially, for me at least, I've always been a fan of Halle Berry with the long hair. I got nothing against the short hair, but it's, for me at least, one of those things where like you gotta be really good looking to pull off like short hair. So with the long hair was a treat for me at least. That was a pleasant little watch for however long she lasted with the long hair, because again, she's the most beautiful graphic designer known to man or woman or cat. And she works for a cosmetic company who's about to release a serum, like what do you call that? Like I guess a cream that's supposed to preserve you for as long as you live. It's supposed, anti-aging. Like what the women are always fucking hunting for when they look for makeup and cosmetic products and all that shit, right? They're about to release it. Halle Berry slash Patience Phillips. I have no patience to even get through a whole name. Patience Phillips, stupid ass name to get. Also, another bad part of this fucking movie is a graphic designer. She's lowly. She doesn't know how to dress. She works for a beauty cosmetic company. Has no fashion sense. She's always getting yelled at by her white German esque, I don't know, Slavic looking ass boss. And he's married to Sharon Stone, who's in bed literally with the boss CEO of the company, and she's the number one culprit fiend of being addicted to the new product they're using to keep you forever young and youthful, and slapping cream on your face and hoping it takes off wrinkles. So she's working on the new ad campaign for that shit. You know what? It's all over the place. I'll save it here. Really, we'll just jump ahead to shit. Like, listen, she goes ahead and she eavesdrops on a fucking meeting about the mixture of the cream that's been proven to be harmful to people, or the ones that have been using it. It's showing like if they keep using it, they get disfigured. If they stop using it, but if they keep using it, their skin hardens. It turns to like marble, indestructible kind of invincibility shit going on. But she listens in on that Patience Phillips, which she shouldn't have. So then, while she went to just drop off the new ad she just created for her boss at his request, she's getting chased down by gunmen hired by the boss and/or Sharon Stone, and they get the order to kill her ass because she knew too much. But they don't even know who she is. They don't immediately identify her, nothing like that. They just know random stranger broke into our warehouse, figured out our formula, and knowing that it's faulty and it's causing people to go disfigured if they stop using our product, she needs to die. R.I.P. Right? They do that. They blast her through a fucking what do you call that? Like a chemical waste tunnel out into the water. She gets caught in that blast, so she got a bukkake pretty much to the 10th degree. Blast into like some muddy water behind her. She's dead from the blast, of course. Like I would imagine if any male had the pleasure of being inside Halle Berry, you would explode. I mean, listen, I'm a man enough to admit that I'd explode too. Just like, how she got blasted in the face and the body and all that head to toe with, the chemical waste. She's dead. This is the part where Catwoman is born because Patient Phillips died. And that's what they stress a lot. You died as you, born as beautiful as human, Patience Phillips, and now you're Patience Phillips, but you're also Catwoman, but you might as well be woman cat because you're basically a cat in human form that can walk upright. But if ever tempted by yarn or catnip, you'll get on all fours and start purring and meowing and all this shit, right? Which is just, it seems like improv acting class 101 at the expense of a huge budget on the big screen starring Halle Berry. Because, again, I wouldn't say she's one of the greatest actresses ever, but she wasn't bad. Yeah, she's been in bad shit, yeah, but she's never been the worst part of anything. So I don't know who to point the finger at. Is the movie bad? Is she bad? Is everybody else playing along with this shit bad? Who's to blame here, really, for Catwoman being so shitty, right? But she, before she dies, before she gets killed like that, the cat, this god level cat, who breathes into her mouth when she's dead and gone, covered in chemical waste, brings her back to life and resurrects her as Catwoman. Before that, that cat was like lingering around her apartment outside, making her climb on top of her air conditioner, placing the window, which is an absolute no-no. Once you put the air conditioner in the window and you shut the window on top of the AC, you never touch that thing again unless you're turning it on and off. Why would you climb on it, let alone? But she does that to try to save the cat, and the cat apparently deemed her as worthy enough to be Catwoman if and when she dies, most likely, which it seems like you have to die to become Catwoman. And it's she's not the only Catwoman, which is what they're implying also. There's been different eras, different times of Catwoman, and I don't mean like the ones from the TV show or anything like that, but apparently there's been Catwomen throughout time before her. She's just a modern version of that Catwoman that earned the title per se. I know it's a lot to take in, but that's really like the whole premise, the build up of the her becoming Catwoman, because it's not like she, was a graphic designer. She got tired of being poor and broke and yelled at and made fun of for looking homely and shit. Impossible to do as Halle Berry, but still, you know what I mean. She decides to become a cat a cat burglar. Takes gymnastic classes, learns how to tumble and split and do handstands, and really elaborate robber, basically, right? And becomes a jewel thief. That would have been probably more exciting, but no, they decided to go the idiot route and make this all, supernatural. And, they've been Catwoman before you throughout the existence of time and shit. And this cat has magic. It breathed into you. Now you're a Catwoman. And you identify as a furry and you dress it up ridiculously, as hot as she did look in this outfit. It's a ridiculous outfit. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that to anybody? Why would you put yourself through that, basically, is all I'm asking. So the whole time, too, Sharon Stone, who's married to the boss, the CEO of the company that, Patient Phillips, Catwoman, Halle Berry works for, is jealous of all the time he spends purposely with their lead head model. I forget the name in the fucking film they gave her, but if you remember back when, there was a model slash girl named Kim Smith who was an absolute piece of ass. Titties were defying gravity in the utmost, highest form possible, and what a pretty ass face to boot. And I think she was pretty tall too. I think she was like 5'9", 5'10", or something. So legit a model. She was in a couple of NSYNC videos. I remember this because, of course, at that time I was still a young man developing into my own body. I was 20 years old at the time when this came out, like not even 20, like 19 or something like that. So, of course, believe me, I was getting bricked up at the right amount of wind blowing my dick from left to right. So, forgive me for being a man. I'm guilty of that shit. But Kim Smith tattooed in my mind, and it was a pleasant surprise to see that of the very few things apparently she's done with her career beyond the NSYNC videos, and I think Maxim a couple of times, that old magazine. Shout out to Maxim. That used to be a good magazine. A lot of girls want to get naked for Playboy, so they sell it for Maxim. It'd be close enough to the real thing. You'd appreciate it enough. But Kim Smith was just that girl at that time, too. What a good-looking girl. So she's the head model, the head campaign model they're using to promote the new product they're about to drop. The CEO boss is spending all his time, obviously, with her because he'd rather be with her than old-ass Sharon Stone, which, 2004 Sharon Stone wasn't looking bad herself, but still, you gotta understand, if there's like a 20-something year difference between her and Kim Smith, who are you gonna go with, right? But not to rule her out completely. I'm just saying Sharon Stone had that time when she was like flashing pussy and everybody's going crazy about it, but that was like 10 years removed, 10 years before that. So can you blame the man? I guess not. And it's all in the script too, so obviously that's going to go down that way. So now, because she is Catwoman or Woman Cat, she's prancing around, she's jumping around, she's leaping, she's going here, she's playing with balls of yarn, she's getting tempted by catnip when she goes to see this old ass cat lady that apparently is the owner of the mystical, magical Egyptian cat that breathed life into her enough to become Catwoman, and tells her, basically about the backstory about, yeah, you're not the only Catwoman, there's been Catwomen before you, you're just the chosen one now, so you might as well take advantage. You're going to be lonely for the rest of your life, because if being a cat lady's bad enough, imagine being a woman cat just like you are now, bitch. So fucking deal with it. Too bad. That's just what it is. These are the cards you got dealt, and they were dipped in catnip, basically. So now she's a cat. She's left to prance around. She's got heightened reaction time. She can jump, pounce real high. She abuses her shit by her powers, better yet said, by beating up a neighbor that's next, the building across from her, for playing their music too loud while they party. It's Not funny as in it's a funny scene, but funny as in how they depicted it. Where I don't, you know what? It's just it's hard to say anything good about this movie. Honestly, it moved along so slow for as long as it lasts, like just under 2 hours, like I think an hour and 45 and such. Um, Beats the shit out of this guy easily. Then I forget exactly how it happened, but at some point too, she starts getting wires of burglaries and shit going on. She passes by this jewelry store which has this like necklace that she's really had an eye on like before she became Catwoman and shit. She goes to that same store, place, whatever. It's getting robbed at night with the jewelry still on display in the cases at night after everybody left and closed for the day. I don't know how that works either, but okay. Continuity, who knows? This is her debut as Catwoman in the outfit, in the suit, in the pleather, leather, whatever she's got going on that looks great on her. But once she starts talking, that becomes the issue. Because I quote, her debut, her jumping, prancing, leaping into action as Catwoman in the film finally, with the whole ensemble on too, right? The mask and the leather barely covering her tits and hugging her ass like that. Guess what her debut line is as Catwoman? You can't, right? Okay, I'll give it to you because hopefully you never have to watch this shit. Quote, what a perfect idea. I can't roll my tongue. I'm Spanish. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I can't roll my tongue for shit. But she says, what a perfect idea. And worse, when she jumps down from the ledge and she goes to beat up the guys that are fucking robbing the jewelry and taking shit that's not theirs to begin with, like fucking looters nowadays are, before she beats one of them up with a fucking kick, which she just magically learned as a Catwoman, because if you think of it, a cat woman or a woman with the powers of a cat, how would she know how to fight? How does she immediately like a top tier level fighter? But she's able to manhandle all of them with karate and fucking martial arts shit before she kicks the shit out of the last guy, grabs him by the fucking chin and says meow, like dragged out, stressed out, really emphasizing it, which in her mind might have been like great acting, or I'm really saving this fucking movie by really committing to the fact that I'm a cat. But she made it that much worse. Kicks his ass, meows in his face, and then puts him down, you would a bad dog, basically. But in this case, it's a bad cat. It's a bad fucking Catwoman movie that we're fucking dealing with here. This shit should have been put down, euthanized from the get-go. So after she breaks up the jewelry heist in the jewelry store, she goes back, like I mentioned, that old cat lady, which I already told you to. Tells her all about, the Catwoman that existed before her. And she has responsibility now. She's going to be lonely for the rest of her life because it's too hard to be a Catwoman and be able to balance that between being Catwoman and having a normal life as Patient Phillips. So basically, she's emphasizing again, Patient Phillips died. You're now Catwoman, but sometimes when you can take your mask off or you can let your hair down, proverbially speaking, because she cut her hair too to fit into the mask, then you can pretend to be, you can cosplay as Patient Phillips, but you're a woman cat now. The woman that became cat, basically. There's no life for you at this point, because at this point now, Benjamin Bratt is a love interest. He's a police officer that rescued her when she was standing on top of her air conditioner right outside her window, which is very stupid to do, but okay, it's for the sake of the movie, I guess. Saves her ass, and he's one of those cops that have no shame in looking up her name because he's got an address already, knowing where she works at just to ask her out on a date. And it's like one of those uncomfortable situations where if a detective rolls up on you and you happen to be a person of color, I would totally understand if you maybe shit your pants, and I'm not trying to play off stereotypes either, but then again, Halle Berry is so fine, she might as well be a fairy. Halle Berry is so goddamn fine, I don't think she's ever had to deal with those type of issues. Maybe, I don't know. I'm talking too much, I guess, about race, which really isn't the issue right now, but if you get rolled up on by a detective who's attractive, I guess you could say Benjamin Bratt's attractive, and get asked out on a date while the detective's on top of you and found you where you work, it's going to be hard to resist. Because imagine you say no, and they're just randomly passing by your building. They just keep randomly passing by, when you're folding laundry at a laundromat or something like that, right? Hard to say no, but at least he's hot. I guess that's the logic, right? So she's got that love interest. Basically, with this old lady saying to her, forget him, you're not going to be able to live in peace with him because how's he going to deal with having a cat woman as a girlfriend and you being a catty bitch, which you look like you're a nice girl actually, but now you're a cat woman. When are you not going to be catty by default, basically, right? So remember how I told you how she debuted as Catwoman in full ensemble, attacking those burglars and shit in the jewelry store? That was apparently her unofficial debut because her debut as Catwoman in the full getup, as you can see in the artwork behind me right here, that does not appear until 52 minutes into the movie, which I will say is the only good, if not great, if not best part of the movie in its entirety. Is I forget what song was playing in the background. It doesn't fucking matter because it sucked probably. Is her catwalking, strutting her stuff in the tight leather outfit that we've come to know and love and make fun of because this movie is so bad after all. But at least at 52 minutes in, we get at least the eye candy we came for. Us guys at least. Because I don't know what woman would actually want to sit through Catwoman. Unless they like Halle Berry a lot, or they like cats a lot, and they want to leave a movie on while they're at work so the cats at home can watch and become enthralled with meow 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 and shit from a woman, right? I don't know. But at least we get that. She's strutting her shit. She's in the outfit. She looks insanely fucking hot. It's great. But then the rest of the movie continues, so then unfortunately it doesn't end like that. Or we could have gotten that earlier to try to have more patience or more hope at least. She runs into the nightclub. She finds the guy that got the order to shoot her on sight and or blast her with the chemical treated water. Finds him. I didn't notice at first, but apparently killed his ass, beat his ass to death almost. Well, not almost. She did beat his ass to death basically. So, and also, the problem is too, the movie's already stupid enough as is in general, but they also gotta force in those lines of dialogue, cat puns and shit. Like, she grabs his tongue literally with her claws, or her diamond encrusted claws on her gloves, and says, "Oh, cat got your tongue," before she proceeds to beat him to death. Like, is there any need for that? We're already watching a movie called Catwoman. Do we need the puns here and there sprinkled in? Do we need her trying to act her heart out, her ass off, in delivering these punny ass lines that made no one laugh, no one, chuckle or nothing, probably on set, watching it back on DVD or burn the DVD afterwards. That's the only time you get to laugh at Catwoman because of Catwoman, when you burn that DVD and then melting into the fucking putty and then tossing it aside and illegally dumping it somewhere. That's the best thing you can do. And that's the funniest part about Catwoman, basically, up until this point. At all whatsoever. So now that leads into the fact that Sharon Stone is so jealous of her husband / CEO, the head of the company, for hanging out with this younger, much more attractive model than she is. She gets so jealous that she kills him. It's her that did it. But she frames Catwoman, Patient Phillips, as the one having done it because the husband was basically growing a heart, apparently, and being like, I know we're about to debut this product, and I know you're addicted to this cream, which is working for you at the expense of it's turning you into a goddamn statue. Your face is so hard. We can't put this out as is. It's going to ruin people. It's going to be detrimental to people's health and shit. Once they stop using it, they get all scarred up and their face starts peeling off their head and shit. So we can't do this shit. I got to pull the plug. But instead of pulling the plug on the shit, she pulls a plug on him, kills his ass, but frames Catwoman as the one that haven't done it. And now she's on the run from the law. And her fucking boyfriend / detective guy that he's pursuing because she's playing hard to get like a cat would, I guess, trying to win over a cat emotionally. They have to arrest her. They detain her. They put her in the fucking cell, whatever. The cat with the godlike powers comes to visit her and shows her how to fucking shimmy her way through the bars. She's able to slip through the bars, which looked like it was real, or I don't know, they just built the bars wide enough for Halle Berry to slip her way out of, excuse me, and she gets away. and then she's in hot pursuit of Sharon Stone, tracks her down, of course, kills her ass because, well, she didn't mean to kill her. But what happens is they fight. Sharon Stone is like, she's got like the invincible cheat code on basically. She's like kicking and scratching and clawing her face, nothing doing. The cream is hardened her so much where she's like invulnerable. But she eventually figures out how to kick her ass. Of course, the obligatory, I'm so evil, I'm gonna end your life. No, I'm gonna end your life in return by mistake. Sharon Stone's dangling off the edge of some shit after falling through some glass. And Catwoman's like, take my hand. And she won't take a hand. And of course, she falls to her death. And that's the end of Sharon Stone in that fucking movie. Speaking of Sharon Stone. And then that's the end of Catwoman, really. It was a lot, I know. But I shared enough with you, hopefully, and described it to you in a way where you'll never have to watch it. Don't bother with it. But we will share some fun facts about the goddamn movie. Just so we can lighten up the mood as far as like talking about how ridiculous this thing was and how pointless this thing was to be made and or put out, let alone. Oh, Catwoman. Fun fact number one. Catwoman back in 2004. This was after I believe Halle Berry had won an Oscar. Just after. Not too far removed. But thanks to how bad this movie was and poorly received this movie was in general, this shit won not one, not two, not three, but 4 Razzie Awards. Razzies are the counterpart, the yin to the yang of the Oscars. Oscars are like what celebrates the best in film. Razzies are those for this is the absolute worst thing possible that came out this year in film, etc., etc. So the Razzies for the worst picture, worst actress, worst director, and worst screenplay all went to Catwoman that year, 2004. No arguing or debating that, and I can absolutely see why. The director had a direct hand, no pun intended, in making this absolute shitty film. I remember how I told you earlier that even Halle Berry herself, the star of the film, and who presumably had a lot of fun on set while making this film, and even adopted a cat that she interacted with a lot thanks to the film, even she shit on this fucking thing after the fact. At the Razzies, she pulls up, accepts for, the fact that she got nominated and won Worst Actress of that year, said the following, and I quote, I'd like to thank Warner Brothers for making me do this god-awful piece of shit movie. Is that not proof enough for you to avoid Catwoman if even she has nothing fond or even neutral to say about the movie? No. She shit on the movie herself. Now, it might have been implied or tongue-in-cheek. Maybe she was just trying to, play along with the joke because of, the fact the movie is bad. She agreed to do it. She had to promote it as a part of, Warner Brothers putting it out and funding this shit and making it happen. I think even she had to be real enough to be like, you know what, this shit sucked. And you know what, at that point, too, Halle Berry was already so established, she can do that kind of shit. And who's going to tell her fucking, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, that was tacky, that was classless, whatever. So tell him to fuck off, basically. She's Halle Berry. She's a piece of ass. She's highly coveted. She's a pretty decent actress depending on the, material given to her. So she wins in that situation. It's everyone else involved in this shit that loses at the expense of Catwoman being so terrible. The movie in general. And yeah, she wasn't great either. You could tell she was trying with the cat pun lines a lot, but she wasn't saving this shit besides just maybe watching this thing with the sound off for the hour and 45 you gotta sit through Catwoman, I guess. If you ever do that to yourself, which I highly recommend, you do not. Now, another fun fact, which seems like pretty petty and catty and alluding to, reputations that a lot of people have sometimes with films, is Sharon Stone apparently did not like acting with Benjamin Bratt in this movie. So much so that when it came time to make Basic Instinct 2, which came out in 2008, right. Benjamin Bratt had apparently been casted as the opposite lead male role for her in Basic Instinct 2, and she said no. And I quote, do I have a quote? Yeah, quote, that he wasn't a good enough actor, apparently, to do so. Now, that seems like a little unfair based off the fact that, well, you know what? I'll give her this much. Sharon Stone, I mean. I'd love to give a lot more, honestly, if you know what I mean, but I'll give it this much. Benjamin Bratt, I like him. He's pretty cool. I wouldn't put him as a great actor. I'd say he's a pretty good actor. Good, decent, does a job, gets it done. Nothing memorable that he's done ever stood out for me. But he wasn't bad in this film too. I mean, it was already a bad movie. A bad hand of cards he got dealt with. So, trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, as they say, right? He didn't do much to salvage this either, but he also didn't have enough to salvage it with. He had some parts. It was like he played his position and shit, and then the rest of the shit just blew up in everybody's face, including Sharon Stone, who was, all right. Sharon Stone is Sharon Stone. She was established already at this time, obviously, so no questioning or doubting her capabilities as an actress. But for her to say that seems kind of petty, given the fact that she probably did him the favor of not being in that absolute piece of shit, which was Basic Instinct 2, which got bad reviews. No one gave a shit about it. She was like, people basically saying she was too old to be doing this shit again. Who cared? Etc. etc. So that seems petty and, pun intended, catty of her to do so, if that's true at all. But also, if she did do that, she did him a favor of saving his ass from another bomb, as in Basic Instinct 2. Catwoman is bad enough to be associated with, but... So, what is there to say about Catwoman from 2004? I haven't said already, which has mostly been 99.9% negative, only because that 0.1% that's good or decent or maybe worth sticking around for might just be Halle Berry prancing around in tight leather, up top and down bottom, looking fucking insanely gorgeous, and you barely get that for like 30 seconds at the 52-minute mark of this film. So that's the 0.1% of shit that I would co-sign and say there is one good thing about Catwoman, and that's it. But I'll leave it at just that, though. But if I had to give a score to Catwoman, I'm going to probably say, without question, this is the worst movie I've reviewed out of everything I've done till now, 80 movies leading into this 81st episode. The worst one I had, like, for me at least, was 2016's Suicide Squad. And, I already explained enough in that episode if you want to dig that up and look back on that. I think this officially takes the cake as the worst movie I've ever reviewed, so therefore I have to give this one out of a possible 2. I'm going to give this a big fat goose egg 0 clump of fucking kitty litter that's obviously been dried up shit for the longest time that no one's changing the box for. Because this is a bad film. This is very bad. Nothing redeeming about it. Definitely, if not in the top 3, definitely top 5 worst comic book / superhero movies of all time. No debating, no denying that. If you happen to like this film, please, I beg of you, leave why in the comment section below on the YouTube version, youtube.com/who this is one. I really gotta ask the question how and or why you like this film. And I'm not the one to be like, oh, if you don't like this movie, then you're an idiot, or fuck you, or get your head screwed on right kind of thing. I'm not that kind of guy. But the biggest question I have to ask when it comes to Catwoman is, how could anyone like this movie? If at all, even in the slightest bit. And like I said, even at 52 minutes when you get to see Halle Berry look like the absolute piece of ass she was in 2004, in tight ass, hip hugging, bustier, mashed up titty leather. That's it. The rest of the movie is stupid. It makes no sense. It changes and plays around too much with the origins of Catwoman. You want to be comic book faithful. That's great and all, if possible. Again, the whole premise of this shit was based off, Michelle Pfeiffer's version of Catwoman, far removed sequel, which this was supposed to be initially, but Michelle Pfeiffer said, fuck no, I'm not doing that shit ever again. So they gave it instead to Halle Berry. She did it. She had to deal with what she got dealt with, and that's Catwoman. But I'd love to know in the comments if you even remotely like Catwoman in the slightest bit or have any sort of defense for Catwoman. Please drop it in the comments below. I'll be waiting patiently to see if anybody dares to do that on YouTube.
Yo, it's over. All right, it's over. It's over. Move the mic. Move the mic.
Thank you.
All right.